What I love the most about golf, you have a round of 18 holes, and in those 18 holes, there's just the beginning, right? So you start playing, and there's gonna be some time in the round, sometime in your life that it's gonna get hard. A representation of life. I grew up in Barcelona, Spain, in a family of 4, my sister and I. My mom played tennis when she was young, and my dad used to play golf because my great-grandpa found in a golf course close to my house. So I guess like golf has been always like running through my blood, I would say. I started playing golf when I was 4. Didn't start competing until I was 8. It's 9-hole competitions. On the weekends, we went just like to camps and everything. So the game just kind of grew on us. We just enjoyed it playing. We had friends, you know, it was like something to do, just to play golf as a family too. I started playing tournaments around Spain, you know, starting to play Spanish national competitions. I started playing just like the British amateurs, and then I think I was 15. I got selected from the national team to the European Team Championship, and it was a really exciting tournament because, I mean, you're representing your country, right? It was my first year. I was like pretty nervous, and then you compete against the other countries in Europe. So it was like really, really exciting just like to have my first European Championship and win it. So that really like motivated me just like to keep playing, to keep improving my game, you know.
Paz Marfá.
I was playing this tournament in my home course, and then this girl was like a couple years older than me, told me like, oh yeah, like I'm trying to look for a scholarship to play in the United States with golf. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. I would love to do that. So since then, I really I had like my mindset that I wanted to study in the United States and play golf.
Gracias a todos. It was a national trend that all these teams had international players. And I had just had a philosophy for a long time that we were winning Big Ten championships, and I didn't really think that we needed to go that route because we were getting great players from the Midwest. So it just kind of got to that point where I thought, you know, I'm just going to kind of start looking. We were down at Doral at a huge international event in December, and we happened to come upon Paz.
I came to the Doral tournament in Miami just to play the tournament, to get recruited by coaches. And I talk a lot with Coach Stacy and Coach Amy at the time, and I really liked the connection I had when I was like talking. You know, they were really supportive. My studies are really important for me. I really wanted to come to a school that was good in the business program and also a good golf program.
We did some Skype calls with her and just really found out that even though she's from a different country, she fit all of our criteria. When she committed, actually, Amy, my assistant at the time, and I were like, okay, you know, we were actually a little bit shocked. She was very highly recruited, really smart young woman. And that was kind of what started it. And then, you know, now we have 5 internationals.
I really was attracted to what they offered me here, just like the family they had, the connections, the program they had, the school they had, and also my relationship with my coaches I thought was really important because I think they're gonna be your family, right, over like the next 5 years that you were looking ahead. So having that connection with them, that's what made me decide to come here. You know, I always like America, you know, from the TV shows and like everything, you know, like you have an idea, but it's not the same. But I really like the language and everything.
Oh, I figured it out, Coach. I need to lower my hands. Coachy, do I have to do the sand shot here too? Here too?
It was a hard adjustment firstly because I thought my English was okay, but then I came here and it was hard to communicate because people did not understand me, and then people were talking really fast. So the language was a hard one.
Oh, that's not good. Do we get into the bunker?
We just had to have that mutual agreement that if there was something we needed to, we had to learn to communicate in a different way or talk slower or just figure it out.
But they told me that at the beginning they didn't want to laugh at me because they feel sorry about me. But then once they knew me, they start laughing at me for the way that I say the things.
I just remember saying to her, okay, look, I know you can't understand everything I'm saying, and I can't understand everything you're saying, so let's just lay it out there. We just had to have that mutual agreement that if there was something we needed to, we had to learn to communicate in a different way or talk slower or just figure it out.
Microphone? Yes. Do you want to talk to the microphone? Yes, say it close. Hello, Earthling.
Over the years, you get better. Like, I really watched videos of my freshman year. It's like, oh my gosh, this was my English. It's like, thank God.
She's got such a great personality that it was easy. It's what I've always appreciated about her is that she has the ability to laugh at herself. Paz is just that made that transition for each international kid so comfortable. It takes her 8-9 hours to get here by a plane. And that to me alone says a lot about a person. The ability to leave your family and to come to a place that she really didn't know much about. And I think just learning from her all the different traditions that, Spaniards have and having her learn all of our traditions, as Americans and just learning her culture and about eating and just how they operate over there and the differences.
The food was a big adjustment. I love food in general, but I love Spanish food. And then another thing I would say, just living by myself. I think it made me grow up a lot as a person and then just independize myself and then just learn a lot of stuff. Even like getting your driving license or manage stuff that maybe when you're home, your parents would. I really like it. It's like a growing experience, but I mean, it was hard at the beginning, but we all learn from it.
The Spartans, they're the Big Ten champions as well for the 7th time in school history.
The first one was really memorable for sure. I was a little freshy. I remember going to the steakhouse at night and coach was like, well, let's cheer for Sarah's 9 under and to have the best day tomorrow to get the trophy home. We never cheer with water in Spain because it's like sign of bad luck. So we would cheer with bread. So thank God we did because the next day we won. We were all crying, So it was really exciting.
And here come the Spartans.
And the next year to come back and win was really cool too, have the feeling go back to back.
Oh my God, no.
Wednesday was the day that they say, okay, the university is gonna go all online. Okay, we're gonna stay here until, the end of the season, because we can still play. I think it was Thursday, we went to practice, and we were like, oh, what's gonna happen, because there was all these other conferences that were like, oh, we're canceling our seasons and stuff. Our coach was like, okay, our tournament this weekend, it's canceled. And we're like, oh no. And then an hour after, they're like, oh, the season's canceled till April. Things didn't look good. And then I think it was 5 o'clock or so, I was in Jenison doing some training. And that's when they announced the season's over.
I couldn't believe how fast everything happened. It was one day we were out here playing and we're leaving the next day for a tournament. And the next day, these kids are going home. And I just felt like there was no closure. Olivia, my 16-year-old, said, we may never see Paz again. And it was heartbreaking and it was so hard.
And it was really sad, because it was my last year. It was supposed to be the best year, and we were gonna play Big Tens and we were hoping that we could make it to nationals and stuff and graduate and it was really sad. Just in a short period of time, So on Friday my mom's like, okay, we got you a plane ticket for tomorrow because things aren't looking good.
So when the ruling came out that they were going to have another year, and I said, Pop, what do you think? And then she found out there was a master's of accounting program that she was able to get in that was a year. It was like perfect. It was just like it was supposed to happen.
Being able to come back and getting a master's degree, I mean, this is the best opportunity I could have. I didn't want it to end that way. Finding out we didn't have a season was like disappointing for sure. But I would say it's like something that we all have to learn from. Like unexpected things happen in life, and I think that's like a great thing we can have like to learn. And it is what it is, we can't change what's going on, so we just have to adapt. We're trying to do and to practice as hard as we can to have like the greatest spring. But I think like everyone's in the same boat here, and we just have to do the best we can, really.
She's grown as a person, she's grown as a player. She's an incredible team leader. We look to her for everything to watch out over the younger kids, whether they're Americans or foreign players. She's the young woman that I turn to on this team to say, okay, what's going on? What can we improve? She is truly the leader of our team right now. She's gonna be a very, very successful businesswoman. And I told her, I said, just remember where you came from. The platform and the springboard to allow her to be successful has been Michigan State University, and I know that she'll cherish that. And I know she's going to be ultra successful because she's so driven and passionate about what she does. It's going to be great to watch her, and I feel like she will be one of those kids that I keep in contact with for the rest of my life.
I could put one word of describing the MSU golf team, right, as my coaches and my team, will be family. They have been there in my hardest moments. So when I was a freshman, my coaches helped me. They helped me overcome my fears, my struggles, but they also made me a better golfer and a better person. I just think about like the people that come to college, they're not in a team, and I'm like, wow, that's really like hard, because I already knew that I was coming to a team that I could like get support whenever I need it. So I think that was like really a relief to have here. For sure, my best years of my life.